All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to give you an update on the rumored Errol Spence Jr. versus Keith Thurman fight. Stephen Espinoza speaks out, gives some extra details about it. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, talking about Errol Spence Jr.'s next fight that should be announced soon, according to Errol Spence. Some people are saying that will be a bout against Keith Thurman, and it may happen on December 17th. There has been an update by Stephen Espinoza of Showtime on that, and we're going to cover that in this video. Now, but before I get into that, I want to say thank you so much to everybody that supports on the channel during the live streams and definitely in the videos and the super thanks. Thank you guys so much for continuing to do that. This particular video I'm going to dedicate to Diane Branch. Thank you so much for your support in the super chat. Super thanks on the video. And again, always good to see your family doing well and prospering on Instagram. If you are a new viewer of the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos, which we do on a daily basis. Excuse me. Both in video and in the live stream format. Now, let's get into this. Stephen Espinoza didn't... I'm going to try to be real polite in this. Was responding to questions about reports about Errol Spence Jr. fighting Keith Thurman on December 17th in Dallas, Texas. The first portion of Stephen Espinoza's response was to say nobody announces Showtime fights but Showtime. So he did not confirm that Errol Spence Jr. is going to be fighting Keith Thurman next. And then when it was said that it was reported that Errol Spence would be fighting Keith Thurman on December 17th in Dallas, Texas, the response of Stephen Espinoza was laugh out loud, as in that's a joke. So what do you take from that? One, that we do not know for sure whether or not Errol Spence is going to fight Keith Thurman next. The only thing that he said about that particular portion of it, excuse me, been sick over the last several days. I'm trying to get through it, but last little bit's hanging on. But the only thing that we really know about that is that he's saying that nobody is going to report Showtime fights but Showtime. So could be Keith Thurman, could be Jaron Ennis, could be Stanley Honest, could be a lot of different things, right? However, do not know based on that. I will say something, though, that I do think, aside from if somebody actually had heard something directly from Errol Spence Jr.'s camp or somewhere else about what Errol said about there being an announcement soon. First, an announcement soon does not mean that an announcement is going to be this week. Right? I think that is a little bit of a jumping of the gun to assume that you're going to get an announcement this week because he said soon. Also, you can also say announcement is coming soon about who he's going to fight because they may be still deciding who he is going to fight and what that date is, but that they said, okay, we're definitely going to lock it in for a fight in this month, right? Now, why would you believe, as far as December 17th goes, that is now out the window with a straight up laugh out loud by Stephen Espinoza, which quite honestly is, and I did this in a video that I uploaded earlier. I mean, it's about obvious because of what Stephen Espinoza has said about the Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight and why that fight had been moved to January or February. And that was because all of the fight dates for this year are gone. So it wasn't that Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr.'s team or Showtime were just wanting to push it to February just to mess over Bud and make him wait longer. It was that their negotiations, which had been going on for months and went all the way up until pretty much the last week of October, it had gone so far that they didn't have any more dates where they could make it this year. If you look at the date right now, it's November 1st. The fight for Errol Spence Jr. to fight on December 17th, that's roughly 6 weeks away, a little less than 6 weeks away, right? Because right now, the date of this video is Tuesday, right? So it's a little more than 7 weeks away. So a little more than 6 weeks away. Who is going to accept a fight for Errol Spence Jr. and get in the ring with him with 6 weeks of training? More than likely not going to happen. And Errol Spence Jr. is not going to take a fight with less than an 8-week training camp. I think that he probably will have for a major fight like Keith Thurman, have a 12-week training camp. So, and then again, obviously there is that big, out there about the fact that Errol Spence Jr. probably still needs to be convinced about fighting Keith Thurman, because he is very, very stern with, I am never going to fight him. Now, Errol, if you're not familiar with him, has been somebody that has been very true to his word. When he said that he's not going to leave 147 until he fights Terrence Crawford, even after Terrence Crawford pulls out the fight, he's still saying, look, man, I'm going to circle the block. I'm going to fight somebody else. I'm going to come back to him. He has not changed his mindset on whether or not he was going to fight Terrence Crawford next. He still says he's going to come around and do it. So I'm not sure why I'm not going to be too quick to suppose that he's going to change his mind on Keith Thurman. However, I would love it if he did. And I want to be very, very clear that, man, I would absolutely positively love it if this fight was on December 17th and it was against Keith Thurman. However, I will say this, though. If that actually came to be, which Steven Espinoza is hinting heavily it's not, that would be kind of, what would you say? It would make Errol Spence Jr. look bad, because Terrence Crawford's team is claiming that they wanted to fight this year. Errol Spence Jr.'s team, and this has been acknowledged by Steven Espinoza, is saying, look, we couldn't fight him this year because, there's no fight dates. If they were to magically pop up with a fight date for a guy like Keith Thurman on December 17th, you know what people are going to say? They're going to say, oh, well, you must have negotiated this. You must have negotiated this fight a while ago. And it wasn't just Terrence Crawford that was negotiating himself another fight. It was Errol Spence Jr. who planned to fight Keith Thurman the whole time and was just making a facade, just pushing a facade so that it would look like he wants to fight Terrence Crawford. To me, none of that makes sense, because if Errol didn't want to fight Terrence Crawford, Errol would say he doesn't want to fight Terrence Crawford. He's very, very upfront and blunt about the things that it will do and he won't do. As has been Terrence Crawford, as has been Terrence Crawford. If you checked out one of the later videos that I did in the YouTube short that's there with him saying he's not going to fight Errol. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.